Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are LA.
Here's the 1-1. Hit out toward right field, hit well. Frank Core's going to pull up off the wall. Kayasma will score. Esteras will score. Borges will score. Halos are out top 6-3. Halos last night with that victory have now won 3 of the 4 contests to open up this homestand tonight from the beautiful Big A. It is game number 2 of the 3-game set against the visiting Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Mark Gubiza. Mike Scioscia tonight turns the ball over to Garrett Richards and trying to stabilize the rotation. This was a spot in which Jerome Williams originally was slated to pitch in. Jerome has been moved to the bullpen, and Garrett Richards looking to kind of double up on what he did the last time out against the Detroit Tigers.
Well, Victor, he certainly has very, very good stuff. Ace-type stuff in a rotation when he repeats his mechanics, and that's been an issue for him. But that last time out against the Tigers threw the ball exceptionally well, especially to an unbelievable pitch in this game against Cabrera with a fastball at 97 miles an hour, about as good as movement as you're going to get. He got some ground balls. He's a guy that works down in the strike zone. He has a big 12-6 break on his curveball. He's got a 95 to 97 mile an hour fastball. His slider's good. Changeup's good too, but when you look back at that game in which he threw 7 shutout innings, 100 pitches thrown, 58 strikes, 42 balls. They want him to throw more pitches in the strike zone. Trust his fastball. When you throw 95 to 97 with this type of movement, you can almost throw that fastball every pitch and still be effective. Trust the fastball, trust your stuff, and he should be very effective tonight.
Now, with the exception of one start here at the Big A, he's thrown the ball exceptionally well here at home. He'll be opposed by a former Angel farmhand by the name of Will Smith. They're giving out the Albert Pujols hats here tonight. We are just about ready for baseball, so sit back and relax. We'll bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball. Gorgeous night for baseball here at the Big A. Garrett Richards and the Angels not wasting any time whatsoever. They have taken the field, and we will take a look at Ned Yost in his lineup tonight for the Kansas City Royals. Fourth in the Central, 11.5 games back. At 40 and 55, Alex Gordon leading things off in left field. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Lorenzo Cain in center. Billy Butler, the cleanup hitter, in DH. Mike Moustakas over at third. Salvador Perez is the catcher. Jeff Francoeur in right. Eric Hosmer at first base batting eighth. And batting ninth and playing second base, it is Chris Getz. Taking on Garrett Richards with a 3-1 record, a 3.53 ERA. And as we just so eloquently described, a very good start against the Tigers his last time out.
Yeah, that fastball, I'll tell you what, when you could throw a fastball at upwards to 97 miles an hour with movement, just believe in that fastball and stay downstairs with the fastball all game long. Make them hit the ball in the ground all day and utilize that defense in the infield.
Speaking of the defense, let's take a look at the defense behind Richards tonight. Mark Trumbo in left, Mike Trout at center, Torrey Hunter in right. It's Alberto Callas with Gene Segura making his major league debut at short. Howie Kendrick at second, Kendrick Morales at first, with John Hester doing the catching.
And Segura, very athletic, making his debut at that shortstop position. He's got a very, very strong throwing arm, very good to the glove side. Also can backhand the baseball very well. Committed 18 errors down in Double-A in that position, but bounced between shortstop and second base. Again, very athletic in that position.
Been up here for a couple of days and making that major league debut tonight. Men in black tonight, the umpires for tonight's game. It's Tony Randazzo calling the balls and strikes. Balking Bob Davidson is over at first base. Brian Gorman at second base, and Todd Titchener is at third. Alex Gordon to lead things off here to kick this one off. He had a 2-for-5 game last night with an RBI. 293 with 5 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Here's the first one. And it's a sinker that catches the outside corner at 95, and it is a strike. Garrett in that start against the Tigers. 7 innings, just 3 hits, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch, and it is 0-2.
Boy, establishing a changeup already in the game for him. Good arm speed on that changeup after a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Solid changeup.
Missing inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I mentioned in the open that for the most part he has pitched well here at home. He had 1 start. It was actually 2 starts ago on July the 5th in which he got knocked around a little bit by Baltimore. 7 runs, 10 hits, and 4 1/3. The count is evened up at 2-2. A lot of moving parts to Garrett's mechanics, and if he is in sync, he could be absolutely devastating with the stuff that he possesses. Check swing, did not go, and it's a full count.
Again, that's the pitch right there. He has to trust the middle part of the plate and let that baseball move off the corner. If you throw it at the corner, it's going to be difficult for an umpire to call that a strike with all that late movement.
Broken bat looper down the line, and that is going to fall in for a hit. Trumbo picks it up, fires to second, and Gordon is in there for the second straight night with a looping hit. This one's a double.
He had a couple flares in first 2 at-bats last night for base hits. There another flare into the outfield, his 32nd double. Well, he read right away that had a chance of being a double. Fell down there in left field with Trumbo playing deep. Falls in there for that double for Gordon. Again, it's difficult for a pitcher, especially with that leadoff double. Changes the way you attack the second hitter.
Just adds to his American League lead in doubles, now with 32. Callaspo in over at third base. And Morales cheating in a little bit at first as Alcides Escobar will step in. Showing bunt, pops it up. Hester has trouble finding it, not going to get to it. It's no balls and a strike. Escobar last night had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning that moved Gordon to second base, but Gordon was eventually stranded in scoring position.
He was asked later on in the game to do the same thing, square around the bump, but he missed a couple opportunities.
Ended the night going 1 for 3, hitting .311 with 4 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Good speed.
And that's that pickoff at second where Garrett's got to completely spin around. He was stepping towards Howie at second and had to throw across his body to second base. A real good view, stepping the wrong way. Very difficult to be able to throw an accurate throw. He threw one, saw in Yankee Stadium, into the outfield.
Not bunting, and he fouls this one back over the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. I mean, just like his mechanics are coming down the mound, as you look at the landing area already on the mound, he is a guy that, I guess, similar to Jared Weaver, although there's nobody really like Jared Weaver as far as closing off his body and being able to throw across his body. But Garrett, for the most part, does throw against his body or across it. Not to the extent of Jared, as this one's bounced over to third, and that is just foul.
And that's why it's difficult for him to, we talk about this so often, repeating your mechanics. It's difficult when you land in that spot to have your arm at that same angle to be able to create the sink on the fastball and still throw for a strike.
Pickoff attempt again, and again the throw is on the second base side of the bag.
Spinning around again, not getting his body fully around to be able to make the throw. That makes it difficult. And we talked about even the first base where he goes through the full throwing motion. You want to quicken up your throw as if you're a middle infielder at that point.
Count remains at 0-2. Good off-speed pitch from Garrett.
And what I mean by being a middle infielder, you have yourself in an athletic position where you throw 3/4 instead of straight over the top, because it's going to take a longer throw at that point to get it to a base.
Another 0-2. That is way outside. It gets by Hester, and Gordon advances. A wild pitch. Puts a man at third.
Look, a four-seam fastball off the glove of John Hester, but he's reaching out trying to be able to catch that pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes. Lorenzo Cain on deck. Breaking pitch, little one hopper over to second base. Gordon, a little stutter step there, waiting, cannot score, so he stays at third base. Not a very good read by Gordon, because Howie quickly making the decision to play that ball on a hop.
Especially when Howie playing back, they're going to give up the run at this point of the game. And again, you got to make sure it's down, especially with no outs. With 1 out, definitely going to go on contact. And a break there for the Angels. Howie read it, looked them back, and then made it throw the first base. Good job by Howie Kendrick at second.
See a look of frustration on Gordon's face. Also wasn't off the bag very far. So he's still at third with 1 out. Here's Cain, the center fielder. The first one is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Cain had a 1-for-3 game last night. Picked up his 12th run batted in. Hitting .308 on the year with a couple of home runs, 3 doubles. Playing now his 17th game. Lifts this one in the air to deep left field. Trumbo giving chase, and at the short wall, he'll watch this one land in the seats, and it's a 2-0 Kansas City lead.
Look at hanging breaking pitch. Just kind of spun over the middle of the plate. First pitch was a nice pitch at 95, just missed the inside corner. Cain, who possesses some pretty good pop. Peter Boyd just took a home run away from him last night. This backup breaking pitch. Get back to that wall. Trumbo tried to read it, but no chance to be able to make a play.
So 2-0 Kansas City. 1 out, nobody on for Billy Butler. First one's a strike. Home run for Cain, his 3rd of the year. There's some time due to a groin injury that he suffered back in April. Oh, and 2.
6th home run that Richards has allowed now in just under 44 innings pitched.
0-2. Down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Butler picked up his 14th double of the year last night. Ended up going 1 for 3. A .297 average. Pretty good breaking pitch too there. Good location with 2 strikes.
Butler changes his approach at the plate when the count changes against him. When he's ahead of the count or early in the count, he looks to turn on pitches. Then when he's behind, he hits the ball, tries to hit it to the right.
And he goes down swinging on the breaking pitch. 2 down. First strikeout for Garrett.
And this is a good breaking pitch from Richards. Stayed on top of this and snapped this breaking ball off the outside corner ahead of the count. Expanded the strike zone against a very good hitter in Billy Butler.
Moustakas takes down low. He's the third baseman. Went 0 for 4 last night. .267 on the year. 16 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Has 23 doubles as well. Garrett falls behind at 2 balls and no strikes. .2-0 Kansas City, courtesy of a Lorenzo Cain 2-run home run to left field. 3-0.
Pretty dangerous spot, even though it's a 3-0 count. That was more of a cut fastball or 4-seam fastball. It was in the inner half. Dangerous spot against Moustakas.
He rips this one into right field, elevates that 3-1 pitch. It's a 2-out knock. Third hit of the inning allowed by Richards. And Mike Butcher might be coming out to pay a visit.
Well, just like the 3-0 pitch, this fastball, 4-seam fastball that Hester wanted outside, got a lot of the plate. Moustakas very quick on the inner half. That ball hard for a base hit in the right field.
Long visit by Butcher. Richards has thrown 24 pitches here in the first. 15 strikes, 1 strikeout, 3 hits allowed. Now he's got to face a very good hitting catcher. The name of Salvador Perez, native of Venezuela. Got to the big league last year. The Angels did not see him. Played in 39 games with .331. With 3 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Kansas City signing him to a 5-year contract this spring. As the first one is in for a strike.
Also possesses a very strong throwing arm behind the plate.
Perez just making his season debut on the 22nd of June. He had surgery on his knee to repair torn meniscus. Suffered back at spring training. 0-1 pitch. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mike Scioscia was talking today. He would love to be able to see Garrett Richards be able to go deep in the game. Kevin Jepson's been throwing quite a bit of late. See some extra innings out of the starting pitchers. Haven't seen that in quite a while.
2 balls and 1 strike. Garrett got ahead of Alex Gordon to start the ballgame off at 0-2. Very good pitchers. Ended up taking the count to 3-2 before Gordon broke his bat and flared a double down the line. A wild pitch advanced him to third, then he scored on the Cain home run. Moustakas over at first. Now Perez backs out at the plate. Two-one pitch. 3-1. It's going to be difficult to work deep into a game. Having thrown 28 pitches here in the first, and showing no signs of really harnessing that command that we saw against the Tigers. This one's fouled back and out of play. Full count. That means Moustakas is going to take off with the pitch. 2 outs. Right fielder Jeff Francoeur on deck. (3-2), and that's hit out toward left. Trumbo got a good read on it. Makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. Kansas City strikes for 2 on 3 hits. Into the bottom of the first, Royals lead it 2-0. Starting 9-4 tonight. The Halos already trailing in this one. Angels 5 games back in the West with a 53-44 record. Have Mike Trout leading things off at center. Torrey Hunter is in right. Albert Pujols will serve as a DH tonight. Mark Trumbo is in left field. Howie Kendrick at second. Kendrys Morales gets to start at first base. Alberto Callaspo at third. Gene Segura at shortstop. John Hester batting ninth. Doing the catching as they take on the 23-year-old left-hander from Noonan, Georgia, by the name of Will Smith.
And Will Smith fastball 89-93, although occasionally will touch 95 with his four-seam fastball. Very good slider, curveball, and changeup. Has allowed 7 home runs in 20 1/3 innings pitched in Major Leagues this year. Former Angel came over with an Alberto Callaspo trade. But the big difference is why he's made that jump from the minor leagues to the major leagues is because he's developed a pretty good slider. They learned from pitching coach Doug Henry of the Royals down in the minor leagues.
Spending most of the season at AAA Omaha. Smith with a 4-4 record at 3.61 ERA down there. 1-3 and a 7.97 ERA here in the big leagues. And Smith and Sean O'Sullivan going to Kansas City in exchange for Alberto Callaspo. There's Mike Trout, who had a 2-for-5 game last night. The first one is in for a strike. Trout with a couple of singles and a run scored. He's scored a run in 15 consecutive games. Major League record is 18 straight games. He's got a 12-game hitting streak. Off speed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and two.
A nice job of backing up a 2-seam fastball after that nice changeup in the same plane on the outer half and tries to keep it down. We'll try a 4-seam fastball inside on right-handed batters. The right-handed batters hitting .340 against them.
2 balls, 2 strikes. He's a big guy, 6'5", lifts to 250. Former 7th round pick of the Angels in 2007 at Gulf Coast Community College. 2-2 on the way. Trout pulls into the left side. Moustakis has this one. High throw, but Hosmer keeps the foot on the bag. Nice footwork over there by Hosmer. One away. We'll take a look at the defense for Kansas City. It's Gordon, Kane, and Frank Core in the outfield from left to right. The infield is Moustakis, Escobar, Getz, and Hosmer from third to first with Perez behind the plate.
And Moustakis, who just made that play in that strong throw, not quite accurate throw over the first base, but does have one of the stronger arms as a third baseman in the American League. Has committed 9 errors in 90 games so far for him. Former shortstop at Chatsworth High School. So he's athletic, good hands, and a strong arm.
Torrey looks at a fastball up and away, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Hunter had a 1-for-5 game last night, including his 10th double. 269 on the year as he lines this one back up the middle. Getz can't make the diving stop. And it's a 1-out single for Torrey. There's a rocket right back up the box. We'll take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Going a little who for you tonight, Victor. Won't get fooled again. Bruce Chen did a nice job of living on the outer part of the plate. And the Angel hitters at times did not make that adjustment. Look for him in that approach you saw from Torrey Hunter, going right back up the middle. Change up, fastball away. That's the approach you have to take to be successful against a left-handed pitcher. Doesn't necessarily throw that upper 90s fastball.
Albert serving as a DH tonight. Takes one down low. .280 on the year with 18 home runs and 61 runs batted in. This after going 1-for-4 last night and an RBI.
Smith with 1 pickoff this year has allowed 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Two balls and no strikes. New baseball being put into play. 9th game in which Albert has served as the DH this year. And he has struggled with it. 4 for 28, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. It's a 143 batting average. He told us early on that he'd prefer to be at first base every single day. Ahead of the count here, 2-0 as he lays off, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, but with that foot problem not running quite as well as he'd like, it's not a bad idea for Mike Scioscia to get him off the foot as far as the defensive side. 3-0 count here for Pujols. Doesn't do it often, but I think if he gets a fastball inner half, he might get the green light and go for it here.
Upstairs, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And the Halos have 2 on with 1 out. Trumbo coming up. Trumbo for 3 last night, hitting .302 on the season. 27 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Hunter at second, Pujols at first. 1 ball, no strikes.
5 straight pitches out of the strike zone for Smith. These are the times, especially as a young pitcher, you start to aim the fastball. And when you aim a fastball against a power hitter like Trumbo, you're looking for trouble.
Pulled to left, and that is over the head of Moustakis toward the corner. Gordon over to cut it off. Hunter will score. Pujols stops at second. The Angels get a run back. It's 2-1 Kansas City. That's a nice play by Alex Gordon, who plays shallow, even with Trumbo at the plate and toward the foul line quite a bit. And he's able to cut that ball off before it ricochets off that side wall.
Yeah, he has trust in his ability to go back on the baseball, and then just like we thought might happen, where Smith aims his fastball up in his zone, and Trumbo crushed it. But a nice play, like you mentioned, Victor, by Gordon to cut that off. Out of the batter's box, Trumbo was assuming he was going to have a double. He had a big wide turn at first, but had to get back quickly. It's an RBI single. RBI number 67 for Trumbo.
Howie Kendrick takes a strike on the outside corner. Howie 1 for 3 last night, batting in the 5 spot. Double and a run batted in. 5 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Pickoff attempt, and Albert gets the hand back in there. Shows bunt, drops it foul up the third base line. Moustakas was playing back at third base. Now taking a shot at it. Morales on deck.
Certain points of the games, that's a good decision to make for Howie, but he's in a run-producing position here in the 5th spot in the lineup. Has that good inside-out approach. He's been swinging the bat very well. You like to see him swing away and try to drive a ball into the alley if he can.
Pulls this one up the line. Moustakas has it. Touches third, fires to first. The inning-ending double play ends the Angels' rally. Howie's rolled into his 15th double play of the year. Through 1. Royals lead at 2-1. Run back in the bottom of the first inning. Halos down 2-1 here to start the second. Kansas City sending up the bottom third of their order. Francoeur, Hosmer, and Getz against Garrett Richards.
Nice job by the offense to respond back. Only scored 1 out of that inning, but the reality is getting right back in the game. Changing momentum. Now it's up to Richards to keep that momentum on the Angels side here by trying to get a 1-2-3 inning and get back up swinging the bats again for the Angels.
Francoeur had an 0-for-4 game last night, hitting .245 on the year. 8 home runs and 27 driven home. Breaking pitch, and that's pulled, and a terrific backhanded stop by Alberto Callaspo, dug out by Morales, 1 out. And Alberto robbing Jeff Francoeur of possible extra bases.
Callaspo was playing some great defense at the hot corner of third base. The reaction, the backhand, the strong throw, and a nice pick by Morales at first base. This ball was hit well by Francoeur right down the line. But Callaspo gets up, knows he has an opportunity to be able to gather himself, and with that strong arm, get it across the diamond, one hop, the easier scoop for a first baseman there in Morales to get the first out.
Garrett misses outside Eric Hosmer. It's 1 ball, no strike. Hosmer last night 2 for 4. And 233 now on the season. 9 home runs and 40 runs batted in as Garrett falls behind at 2 balls and no strikes. This is a team, as we talked about last night with C.J. Wilson on the mound, that very aggressive offensively. Tied with the Angels team batting average at 270. If you fall behind, these guys are not going to waste a whole lot of pitches that are in the strike zone.
Yeah, when you look at them, they've only had 268 walks as a team, or 237 walks as a team. So they're not a team that's looking for the baseball ball. They're up there hacking.
And a 4-pitch walk issued to Hosmer puts a man on with 1 out and Getz coming to the plate. Richards has allowed a 293 batting average to left-handed batters this year. Righty's hitting just 231 against him. Getz getting to start at second base. Bencourt was there last night. Very good speed for Getz. Tough guy to double up unless he hits something hard at an infielder.
And he's always hit well against Angel pitching, a .324 career hitter. You think for Richards, he's got to stop Hosmer at first base. Tries to get a walking lead. He's been successful 10 out of 11 stolen base attempts.
Off speed, lined into center. Base hit for Chris Getz. Hosmer advances to second, so 2 on with 1 out. That was a changeup or off speed pitch that was up in the strike zone. That's the 4th hit allowed by Garrett.
Getz once again gets another base hit against Angel pitching. Goes right back up the middle against Richards. All speed. Certainly don't ever recommend throwing up your pitching hand to be able to knock down a line drive that Richards tried to do there.
Well, now back to the top of the order, and Alex Gordon steps in. Flared a double down the left field line of the first, his 32nd of the year. One and 0. Outfield straight around against Gordon. The 2-0. This one looped out towards shallow left. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Another flare hit. Going to third base is Chris Getz. RBI single for Gordon, and the Royals get that run back. It's 3-1 Kansas City. But then again, it's another 2-0 hitters count.
And you can gear for a fastball, even though you don't necessarily square it up. You know a fastball's coming. You can make good contact with that pitch.
37th run batted in for Gordon. He's 2 for 2. We're in the second inning. 5 hits allowed by Garrett. Here's Escobar. Hit that little one hopper to Howie Kendrick in the second. He's 0 for 1. One-0 count here on Escobar, and Hester's going to go out and talk things over. And how big is the at-bat now for Howie Kendrick in the bottom of the first? 2 on, 1 out. Rolling into his 15th double play to end the inning.
Especially when you're facing a young pitcher who's struggled at the major league level like Will Smith has. You want to keep the pressure and mount a big rally against him to start the game.
42 pitches thrown by Garrett. One out here in the second. The 1-0. Evens the count. Movement has not been an issue tonight for Garrett. He's got good sink on the fastball. It's just commanding it within the strike zone.
Again, you have to trust the middle part of the plate. With that movement you have on the fastball, you can't start it on a corner because it's not going to be a pitch where an umpire could call it a strike. Trust the movement. Stay middle part of the plate, work down, and then it'll work to the corners.
You see Hester moving in the inside part of the play as Escobar bunts a foul. So does a catcher do a pitcher disservice by moving like that? At some point, don't you have to have some self-awareness as a pitcher that, hey, I for some reason you're setting up inside and my ball's running way off the plate. Help me out here. Yep. Set up right down the middle.
I talked to Bobby Wilson about that exact subject after his game in Detroit the other day. He got to the point where he was staying right in the middle part of the plate, and he would just move his glove in or away and trust movement. That way you have a bigger target for him to throw at.
Breaking pitch rolled to short. Segura feeds Kendrick for one. Relay on to first. Not in time, a run scores. It's 4-1 Kansas City. Transfer took a little while at second base. Ball was not hit that hard, and Escobar with good speed, so Escobar gets credit for an RBI. Kansas City has scored twice now in the first 2 innings, 2 outs. Man at first base for Lorenzo Cain.
But Escobar has hit into 11 double plays. Now he's a stolen base threat here with 14 of them in 17 attempts. Got to believe he's going to be going early in the count here. Good speed. The Royals in these first 2 games have shown they've been aggressive as far as trying to add movement, as far as the stolen base, hitting runs.
Lorenzo Cain hit his 3rd home run of the season in the first inning, a 2-run shot. Now with 14 runs batted in. Cain's a native of Valdosta, Georgia, South Georgia. Originally in the Brewers system, part of the Zach Greinke deal. 17th round pick by Milwaukee in 2004. Oh, and 1.
Well, when I looked at the way Lorenzo Cain had that swing in his first at bat in which he hit a home run, quite similar swing to his swing in Torrey Hunter last night's double in the 3rd inning, a breaking pitch in the inner half, and how they were both able to get the bat head out through and make good contact and pull both those baseballs to left field. And an opportunity at some point during the game to compare the 2 swings between Lorenzo Cain and Torrey Hunter and how they attack the baseball, particularly when it's an all-speed pitch on the inner half.
One ball, 1 strike. Cain faced the Angels in that opening weekend to start the year and hurt himself the following week in Oakland, groin injury. Pitch out, nothing's happening. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Mike Scioscia must have felt there was definitely a running count for the Royals. Now you put Richards, who's had trouble throwing strikes, now behind in the count. So Ned Yost for the Royals, you would think, is going to have Escobar going here.
Takes off, and the pitch is inside. A throw down from Hester, not close, and one Hobson hits Escobar. So it's a stolen base for Alcides. And a 3-1 count on Kane.
Big jump. Not a whole lot of opportunity for Hester to throw out. Escobar slides in there with his 15th stolen base. Richards with 5 3-ball counts already in this game. He has 1 walk.
4-1 Kansas City. 2 runs in the first, 2 so far here in the second. Ball 4. Second walk issued in the game. And here comes the second visit by Mike Butcher.
Playing with 50 pitches thrown already here. We're only in the second inning. And so should, like I said before the game when we talked, you'd like to have seen Garrett have that aggressive nature, trusting his fastball. He mentioned even during the pregame show needing to trust his stuff. He's got great stuff as far as his fastball. His curveball is very good. His slider the same. And his changeup has been developing well. But he's just not repeating his pitches and trusting his ability to get people out.
Butler, a strikeout victim in the first. 1-0. Escobar standing at second base. Kane at first. Good speed on the bases for Kansas City as Butler swings through the breaking ball. And that'll leave it to count. Take a look at our GoPro cam. Jerome Williams is up and loosening now. That's a sign from the dugout saying, listen, we've given you ample opportunity to kind of get things fixed on the mound, and we're tired of waiting, especially down 4-1 in the second. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike.
An inconsistent release point for him. Talk a lot about hitters when they're struggling, that front hip opening up. Leaves them susceptible to the pitches on the outer part of the plate. Same thing with the pitcher. When your release point, when you start flying open with your front shoulder, it's very difficult to get out over that front leg. And I'm talking to Mike Butcher before the game, what his keys are for Richards for him to be successful, getting that arm out over the front leg and being successful working down in the strike zone.
2-1 pitch. 2-2.
A good balance there, a good little hip turn for him, allowed him to get over the front leg much more consistently for Richards. That's the thing, you have to have that release point. You can't be one pitch good, one pitch not so good.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Butler. The inning comes to an end, but Kansas City tacks on 2 more. We head to the bottom of the second. Halos down 4-1. Kayaspo and Segura against the left-hander Will Smith. Garrett Richards has thrown a lot of pitches. Has picked up a couple of strikeouts, walked 2, but continuing to fall behind through the first 2 innings, and will more than likely have a very short leash in the third if he starts to get in trouble once again.
This Kansas City club can swing the bat, especially when they get in hitters' counts. If you get ahead of them, they will swing at pitches out of the strike zone, but you have to fight your way to get ahead of the count.
Kendrys Morales last night pinch hit and had a single with 3 runs batted in. Proved to be the game-winning hit as he looks at his strike. Kendrys hitting .280 with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Batting in the 6th spot tonight. Batting from the right side against the left-hander Smith. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kendrys a .267 average from this side of the plate. 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in. One and 2. Line to first. There is the first out. Saturday when the Angels host the Rays, kids 2 to 14 will receive a Howie Kendrick kite courtesy of Fox Sports West. While supplies last, to purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com. Good looking kite. Alberto Kayaspo, 7-game hitting streak, a season high for him after going 1 for 4 last night, hitting .252 on the year. 7 home runs and 31 runs batted in.
Get that big rally going in the 8th inning with 2 outs, base hit in the right field.
And Kayaspo's on board. So Gene Segura making his major league debut tonight, stepping up to the plate. That's a second walk, by the way, that Smith has allowed in this game. Segura spending the season at AA Arkansas. He's hitting .294 with 7 home runs and 40 runs batted in, 10 doubles and 5 triples. Participating in the Futures game and 2 for 3 in Kansas City.
He definitely has some pop in the bat. 22 extra base hits down there in AA.
Looks at his strike.
But the big thing when you're a youngster making your first appearance at the plate at the major league level, you got to try to slow the game down. Make sure you get a chance to breathe as much as possible, see a pitch, which you did there. Now you're ready to go.
Breaking pitch is high, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul off the right. A ball and 2 strikes on Segura, native of San Juan in the Dominican Republic. Question for him long term, is he an everyday shortstop in the big leagues as he moved to second base?
There's a question about the footwork, the difference between being a shortstop, which he has been, and a second baseman.
He strikes out swinging in his first big league plate appearance, and there are 2 outs here in the second. So with Callaspo standing at first base, 2 outs here, and here's John Hester with the Angels down 4-1. Hester won for his last 24. His average dipped down to 217, 3 home runs and 4 runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes. Kansas City with 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings.
Well, that's the pitch Hester can drive. He's looking for that fastball in the inner half. Will Smith will throw a changeup and 2-seam fastball away, but occasionally will go inside with a 4-seam fastball.
Two balls and 1 strike. Angels had a couple of hits and a run scored in the first. Hester foul tips that one. It's 2-2. Looks like Perez wants to pitch down low, and this one's fouled back to the right. So the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. In case you're wondering, Chris Iannetta still on a rehab assignment with AAA Salt Lake. He struck out on his first at bat tonight, and a 2-run single to tie the game in his second AB. So slowly but surely getting ready. Vernon Wells with a 2-run home run tonight. As that pitch misses in, it's a full count. Mike Trout's on deck. Callaspo's going to take off with a pitch over at first base with 2 outs here.
I think Kansas City does. They hold that runner on a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Now it looks like Hosmer's going to go behind Callaspo, which I was surprised to begin with.
3-2 lifted in the air to shallow right. Jeff Francoeur comes jogging in. He is under it. The inning comes to an end. Angels get a man on and leave him on base through 2. Kansas City leads it 4-1. Kansas City with 2 runs in each of the first 2 frames, and here in the third it'll be Moustakas, Perez, and Francoeur. 5, 6, and 7 for Kansas City against Garrett Richards, who has 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 5 hits allowed as he delivers a first pitch strike. Moustakas singled in the first inning. So he's 1 for 1. Got ahead at 3 balls and a strike before picking up that single. Breaks his bat, loops one over to Howie. He's got it. 1 away. That's a pretty good pitch, sawing off the bat of Moustakas.
And that's the mindset Richards has to have, is attacking the Royal hitters. He's got a very good fastball. He can throw the 4-seam fastball inside on lefties. Can sink it away also.
Breaking pitch outside to Perez, who had a fly ball to left field in the first. Bouncer to third. Callaspo plays it to his side there. 2 outs.
That reaction was, there was a story there, and that hopper to Callaspo makes it look easy. Strong throw.
It's one of those plays you see in a bullfighting ring in Spain.
Look at that smile.
Just to your left.
Yep. He knew he had it all the time.
Jeff Francoeur went around on the breaking pitch. No balls and a strike with 2 outs here in the third.
You like that play by Callaspo, didn't you? Quick hand.
Yeah. Something you will not see in the Tom Amansky baseball videos of how to field the baseball. Although you too could wear a trucker hat and make that play. Way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Francoeur, ground ball to third base in the second. He's 0 for 1. This one pulled foul.
But this is a time if Richards felt good about throwing a pitch to a certain spot, it would be very effective. He can throw a fastball away at the knees. He should be able to freeze him. He's still looking on the inner half. It's still a dangerous pitch against Francoeur because he's still opening up that front hip. He wants to turn and hit something down the left field line to left center field.
Ground ball to second. Howie has it. Garrett Richards for the 1, 2, 3, third. We hit the bottom of the third. Kansas City still up. may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 4-1 Kansas City, bottom of the third. The Angels have the top of the order coming up here against Will Smith.
Look at our Mazda leaderboard as far as most consecutive games with runs since 1900. Mike Trout just 3 away from that all-time record of 18. And like we said in the pregame show, you need a little help to get that record. You can get on base, but the reality is you need somebody hitting behind you. You have that speed, but it's also about situational hitting behind you.
2 balls and no strikes. Trout grounded out to Moustakas in the first inning. 0-for-1. Breaks his bat, hits one over to second base. 1 away. 2 ground ball outs for Mike Giotto for 2. Here comes Torrey Hunter. Single back up the middle in the first. Smith is a guy that will walk some guys. He's you see him trying to hit the corners, hit the spots, and try to be perfect with it. But he's at least working both sides of the plate. He's throwing some strikes tonight.
Yeah, you got a break there. That 2-0 pitch to Trout hit a ground ball to second base to Getz. Might have been out of the zone, but it was close enough middle of the plate and being down that you will get hitters to chase that pitch. Now, if it's off the corner, you won't get a hitter to swing at it.
Three and 1. Pujols on deck. Halos with 2 hits, both coming in the first. Torrey with a single. Trumbo with an RBI single to left. There's a walk. Third one issued by Smith. Hey, slide into the driver's seat of a brand new Chevy or win tickets to an upcoming Angels game for you and 3 friends. For official rules and your chance to win, visit angels.com/Chevy. Albert drew a walk in the first inning, so no official ABs for him.
Pujols with some great numbers in his career versus the Royals, not only the batting average, but 16 home runs.
One ball, one strike.
Really tries to turn over the changeup, Smith does. Allows a hitter, especially a good one like Pujols, to be able to read that pitch being out of the strike zone.
One. That's a ball that hit him on the arm, and the question is, where did it hit him? Late movement in. Albert committed to his swing.
Right around the forearm area. And Nevela checking it out. That was a commitment where you're guessing for a pitch, trying to turn on something on the inner half. Looks like it might have got the bat first before it got him right on the Right arm around the elbow area. It's just guessing on a certain part of the plate and trying to turn on a pitch.
Appears to be all right. More than likely stiffen up throughout the game.
Well, he is one tough competitor, though. But it had some serious sound in that elbow area. I mean, that's going to be the issue throughout the game, is keeping that area loose enough where you can get through on your swing. When you see the mark it's made already.
Swing and a miss. Two down.
Well, you almost would think there's no way Will Smith would not come in with something on the inner half. Come in with a breakable hard slider. It's one of the benefits of being a designated hitter now. You get some treatment in between your at-bats because you don't have to go out and play the field.
One ball, no strikes on Mark Trumbo. Had an RBI single in the first inning. His 67th run batted in.
These are those times, though, with Trumbo, with his power, that one swing gets you right back in the game. Kansas City with a lot of momentum now, leading by 3 runs here. Even though it's early in the game, Trumbo has that type of power to shift that momentum back to the Angels.
Hunter still at first base. Mark looks at a strike. 1-2. One-two on the way. Check swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez says that he can ask for an appeal. The catcher.
It's that hard slider that Will Smith learned from Doug Henry, the pitching coach, former major leaguer. Had a very good slider. Started developing that pitch this year in the minor leagues. And a swing and miss on that slider against Pujols.
Chopper towards short. Escobar has it. And for the second straight inning, the Angels get a man on via the walk and leave him stranded at first base. Through 3, Kansas City leads it 4-1. 1-2-3 inning in the third. He'll face 8-9-1 for the Royals here in the fourth inning. Hosmer, Getz, and Gordon. A couple of strikeouts, couple of walks, and 5 hits allowed for Garrett as he gets Hosmer to chase that breaking pitch, and it is an 0-1 count. Hosmer drew a walk into second and eventually came around to score. 2 runs the Royals put on the board in that second inning. Pulls this one over to second base. Howie bobbles it for a second. Regroups and throws out Hosmer for the first out. Let's take a look at our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Something that we've all been waiting for with bated breath. Barry Larkin became the 3rd shortstop inducted into the Hall of Fame since 2000. Who are the other 2? That sound you hear is Gooby racking his brain. Chris Getz had a single in the second. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. You just got that one, didn't you?
Yeah. What'd you say? I'm racking my brain.
Getz also scored a run in the second inning. Pulls this one to the right side. Howie going far to his left. Little shot put throw to Kendrys. 2 down. That's a nice play by Howie.
Very difficult, too, because Getz gets down the line so well. Not only you feel that, but you have to be able to keep your body in position to throw with your momentum going towards the first baseline.
And you know what? Stayed on his feet. You had a better chance as far as range is concerned, ranging out like that to your left, and you go into that slide.
And a better chance to have an accurate throw also, with a little more on it. Finally getting Chris Getz out.
It's a 2 outs, nobody on for Alex Gordon. The first one's in the dirt. Gordon 2 for 2 with a double and a single. One ball, 1 strike. Gordon had a double in the first inning and a run scored. Singled home a run in the second. 4 for 7 in the series thus far. Did not go. Got Titchener over at third. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike. Down in Arlington, the Boston Red Sox have scored a run in the top of the 9th inning against Joe Nathan to take a 2-1 lead. That game headed down to the bottom of the 9th as the 2-out walk is issued to Alex Gordon. That'll bring up Alcides Escobar. 3rd walk issued by Garrett.
Well, that focus to get through an inning, get 2 ground ball outs. Now we can make it 2 really good plays. The mindset should be, as a pitcher, trust in your defense. Now, Gordon with pretty good speed, although not stealing as many bases this year as 3 and 6 attempts. Not be surprised to see him going here early in the count.
Escobar 0 for 2. The ground ball to second and a fielder's choice. Picked up an RBI on that fielder's choice in the second inning. His 29th of the year. One ball, 1 strike.
but Gordon was leading there.
Two balls and a strike. Gordon, a little stutter to step over at first base. He thought about going as well. 79 pitches thrown by Garrett. 3 2/3 innings. Looks like the bullpen starting to scramble. Jerome Williams was up earlier. It looks like it's Jerome once again back up and playing catch. Richards retired the first two guys on ground balls to Howie Kendrick, then walked Alex Gordon.
It shouldn't take Jerome long to get ready now after throwing a couple innings ago.
Gordon takes off. The 2-1 pitch is inside. The throw from Hester is not close. A stolen base.
Fourth stolen base for Gordon. Slight hesitation as far as his jump, but still able to get the hand in. Get in scoring position for Escobar.
Three 1. Fouled back. Full count now. Lorenzo Cain's the man on deck. Gordon standing at second with 2 outs here in the fourth. 3-2 popped up. Howie Kendrick is under it. The inning comes to an end. We head to the bottom of the fourth. The Halos down 4-1.
By the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax. Start here. And by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on.
Halos down by the score of 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Howie Kendrick to lead things off against the left-hander Will Smith. He'll be followed by Kendrys Morales and then Alberto Callaspo. Halos got one back in the first inning after being down 2-0 in the top of the first. Had runners at first and second with one out when Howie Kendrick rolled into an inning-ending double play. So Howie is 0 for 1. Since then, the Angels have had one base runner. That was a walk to Callaspo with one out in the second. He was left stranded at first. And a one-out walk to Torrey Hunter in the third. He was stranded at first as well. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, when you just look at the numbers from Will Smith, he's going to allow the Angels an opportunity, if they have good approaches at the plate, to get back in this game. Coming into game, 26 hits allowed in 20 to third. Innings pitched, 7 home runs, 7 walks. But when you're a young pitcher and you start to gain confidence, all of a sudden you're hitting your spots that much better.
Pulled foul. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. As of right now, that AB by Howie, a big one in that first inning, an opportunity to tie things up, if not more, against Smith. As Howie shoots one out toward the alley in right center field. Kane got a good jump on it. He'll track it down for the first out. So leadoff man retired for the 4th consecutive inning. Here's our AT&T trivia question. Barry Larkin, the 3rd shortstop inducted into the Hall of Fame since 2000. Who are the others? Ozzie Smith and Cal Ripken Jr.
2 pretty good ones there.
But you knew that.
I did know that.
Cal's your guy, right? You guys are pretty tight.
Yeah, we own a couple minor league baseball teams together.
And just Morales swinging at the first pitch. Grounds 1 too short. 2 down. Kendrys now 2. That'll bring up Alberto Callaspo. Take a look at our standings in the American League West, brought to you by Kia. Texas has just lost to the Boston Red Sox 2-1, so the Angels with an opportunity to pick up a game. Oakland has already won, so if the Angels lose this game, Halos and the Athletics will be tied for second, 5 games back at Texas.
What has Oakland been, 15-2?
Yep.
In the month of July?
Yep. Halos have not been able to pick up any ground on Texas. The Angels managing a 15-18 record coming into today on the days the Rangers have lost. And you're not going to make up much ground doing that. Down by 3 with 2 outs here in the 4th. 3-1. Smith has allowed just 2 hits, both coming in the first. Full count now.
He's got some odd numbers. He's thrown 64 pitches so far, 33 strikes, 31 out of the strike zone.
Here's the payoff. Bouncer back to the mound. And Smith has his first 1, 2, 3 inning. 4 in the books. Kansas City still on top 4-1. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second. The Angels getting a run in the first. The Halos down 4-1. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Victor Rojas along with Mark Gubis and Garrett Richards. Struggled through the first 2 innings, especially with command. Settled down in the third, a 1-2-3 inning. Got the first 2 outs before issuing a walk, but then got out of the fourth.
Yeah, Victor, first 2 innings through 55 pitches. The next 2 innings after that, just 27. Find a little bit better command with that fastball down in the strike zone and utilizing the defense, which we said coming into the game was the important thing for Richards. Trusting the movement and location of his fastball.
82 pitches thrown so far. That was the 83rd, and it's a breaking pitch for a strike on Lorenzo Cain. 3, 4, and 5 for Kansas City here in the 5th. Cain, Butler, and Moustakas. One ball, 1 strike. Cain with a 2-run home run in the first inning, a walk in the second. He's 1 for 1. One and 2.
Well, you're talking about the similarities in the swing on the approach of something down. You'll be able to get down on that baseball. Same thing you're going to see here with Cain. Same exact swing, and then the momentum all the way through the baseball, the uppercut. Torrey's one hops the wall in left field, and Cain hits that one over the fence in left field. Very similar approach, attacking that breaking pitch on the inner half and through the swing. And with a swing like that, especially on something off speed, you have to be, because you're pulling off that pitch, you have to have that outer part of the plate open for a pitcher to attack. See if Richards tries a fastball away here.
Breaking pitch, line to short. Segura has it, 1 away.
It was away, but he threw an off-speed pitch that allowed Cain to be able to make good contact because he was able to track the speed itself. That's why sometimes the fastball is definitely the best pitch in baseball for pitchers, because you can locate that both sides of the plate, elevate, and sink.
Butler's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and the first one's outside. The only 2 strikeouts that Richards has picked up tonight. He has walked 3 and has allowed 5 hits, 3 in the first, 2 in the second.
And that's the perfect spot with a fastball away. 96 on the corner. Very difficult for even a guy that hits the ball well the other way to make contact with.
Boy, what a difference in those 2 pitches. The last 2 pitches, both breaking balls. One, it's almost as if he tried to get his body to throw the breaking pitch. This one, he got out in front and snapped it right down.
Yeah, the mindset was the pitch before I was going to throw it as hard as I could. This one I'm trying to throw it for a strike, and the results were so much better because he didn't overthrow it.
There's another good one, chopped to short. Segura waits for that big hop. Puts her down.
And get a real good view on what you're supposed to do as far as attacking on that one. They overthrew it, came more of a 3-quarter delivery, and then the very next one on top of it snaps it straight down, 12-6 break on that curveball. He's got a very good curveball. As far as young pitchers in the game, when he's comfortable and he commands that, that's a devastating curveball.
Mike Moustakas looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Moustakas 1 for 2 with a single and a line out to Howie Kendrick. Off speed pitch, pulled foul. No balls, 2 strikes. You know, a lot of times, especially with young pitchers on the mound, you talk about overthrowing, and a lot of times you can just see it from their head jerking towards that, from a right-handed pitcher jerking towards first base, trying to use that entire body to bring that arm through the slot.
And the best advice I ever got as a young pitcher was one of my pitch coaches, Frank Funk, who said you got to try easy. In other words, you don't try to throw at max effort on all your pitches, especially breaking pitches, because it's a little different throwing motion as compared to your fastball.
.95 pitches thrown by Garrett. Trying to get through this 5th inning.
And if you're going to go with a fastball inside against Moustakas, you better go off the plate. Otherwise, sink it away.
Rolls this one over to second. Howie bobbles it for a minute. Low throw. Morales digs it out, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Richards. We head to the bottom of the 5th with the Royals still leading this one.
First 2, 4 runs allowed, 5 hits, a couple walks, but since that point, more consistent as far as attacking the strike zone, utilizing his curveball, his changeup, and spotting that fastball. We've seen some 96-mile-an-hour fastballs, but the reality is, early part of the game is just as important as the middle part of the game. You cannot afford to give up those runs early because you've taken away your ability to be more aggressive in that beginning part of the game by trying to hit corners instead of trusted movement, going middle part of the plate.
Here at the bottom of the 5th inning, the Angels set up 8, 9, and 1. Segura, Hester, and Trout. It's Will Smith coming off his first 1-2-3 inning. That was in the 4th, obviously. As Segura fouls off the first pitch, and it is 0-1. Gene Segura, his first big league at bat in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging on a breaking pitch down and in. On the corner, 0-2.
You would expect Smith to throw that exact same pitch now ahead of the count, try to bounce a breaking pitch against Segura.
And he got him with that same pitch that he retired him on in the 2nd inning. There's out number 1. He's had 6 batters in a row retired by Smith since the walk to Torrey Hunter with 1 out in the 3rd.
And that's what you try to do as a pitcher. You get ahead of the count because you can expand the strike zone and get a hitter to swing at a pitch like that down and in. It's not going to swing it if you're behind the count 2-0.
Hester with a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning is 0-1. 0-2 on the way. Lays off the breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smith with 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 2 hits allowed. Pretty close, 2-2. One hopper to short. Escobar has it. 2 outs. So back to the top of the order now, Mike Trout, who is 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to second. This series wraps up tomorrow afternoon, a 12:35 start. Then an off day on Thursday before the Rays roll into town. 1 ball, no strikes. Look, Coach Aver going up against Jared Weaver tomorrow afternoon. Jared will be looking for his 13th win of the season. Comes in at 12-1 mark. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Weave amazing at home and amazing in day games also. We're looking back now with Mike Trout. Last at bat was behind. I mean, he was ahead of the count 2-0. Was swung at that little sinking fastball away. A little bit out of the strike zone, hit a ground ball to second. This time, took a 2-0 pitch.
It's 3 balls and a strike.
A true leadoff hitter trying to get on base, whether via a base hit or a walk.
The 3-1. Lifts this one foul and out of play. Full count. Torrey Hunter on deck. Most batters the Angels have sent to the plate. 5 against Smith. That was in the first. They sent 4 the next 2 innings. Retired the side in order in the 4th. 3-2 lifted in the air to right. And Core is moving over. And Smith now is retired the last 8 in a row. 5 in the books. Kansas City is up still 4-1.
George Brett against Goose Gossage. It's a home run in the old Yankee Stadium, but Billy Martin wants that bat checked by Tim McClellan. too much pine tar, but George Brett is ruled out, and he basically loses his mind at that particular point. I remember talking to him about that. He said he ran out there, was insane for a second, then looked up at Tim McClellan, rather large umpire at that point, was hoping that somebody grabbed a hold of him. Tim McClellan about 6'6", 6'7". Eventually that was ruled a home run, and they had to finish the game back later in the year in New York.
Garrett Richards is done as we start at the top of the 6th inning. He goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs all earned on 5 hits, 1 home run, a couple of strikeouts, and 3 walks. And Jerome Williams is in and out. Who's in, who is out?
Of course, Jerome would love to be starting. The reality is it gives Mike Scioscia that flexibility down in the bullpen. A true guy out of the bullpen to give him innings. So David Carpenter throwing some innings. He's generally a 1 or 2 inning guy, but he was forced into pitching 3 and 4 innings out of the bullpen. But Jerome is the guy that can give length for the bullpen for Mike Scioscia.
Perez, Francoeur, and Hosmer, 6, 7, and 8 for the Royals here in the 6th. Perez is 0 for 2. A fly ball to left and a ground out. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Jerome has struggled in his last 5 starts or so. This gives him an opportunity to be more aggressive coming out of the bullpen.
Full count. Garrett saw his ERA jump up from 3.53 to 3.91 with the 4 runs allowed tonight. Perez fouls this one into the dugout and out of the dugout. The count remains full at 3-2. This one's popped up on the right side of the infield, and Kendrys Morales is there. One away. Hey, Saturday, the Angels postgame summer concerts conclude with a rock concert featuring the Goo Goo Dolls, presented by SRS Sound in association with Budweiser, Jeep, and Jack FM. Purchase your tickets today at angels.com/concerts. One out, nobody on for Jeff Francoeur. 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs, 1 to third and 1 to second. Two balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Jerome's last start was Thursday in Detroit. 5 runs in 6 innings, 9 hits, including 2 home runs. He struck out 3 and walked 1. Full count, so well rested.
Good life on the fastball. He's throwing some 94, even a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Count remains full. Eric Hosmer on deck.
Try to get him with a cut fastball there.
Towering shot, but foul. Good little battle here between Jerome and the guy they call Frenchie.
Got a lot of power to left field. Looking for something on the inner half.
Bounces this one to Alberto. 2 outs.
And sometimes when you look at Francoeur, you see Scott Shields. Similar look.
I could see that.
Well, Scott Shields did a tremendous job in his career. The setup guy for the Angels and Mike Scioscia, how important he was getting those key outs in that eighth inning.
Hosmer, the first baseman, looks at a breaking pitch down low. Two balls, no strikes. Hosmer tonight with a walk and a run scored. He's also grounded out, so he's 0 for 1. All of the hits coming within the first 2 innings tonight. 3-0. Kansas City with 3 in the first. The Angels with 2 in the first. And the Royals with 2 in the second. Goose eggs since then. This one's hammered out toward right center field. Torrey dives and he can't get it, or did he? Nope, it goes by him. Hosmer on his way to second. It's not going to stop there, and he'll end up at third.
Torrey might have hurt himself diving for that baseball.
I wonder if he jarred his back diving for that ball.
Rib cage area. Boy, that's the thing about Torrey Hunter. He never gives up. He had a good read on that baseball. It was hit well by Hosmer. Full extension on the dive. It came down hard on that hip and rib area. You could see the grass stains right in that area. Rick Smith out there. Adam Neville's going to come out also. We're just going to get loose just in case Torrey cannot continue. Boy, covering a lot of ground. Boy, full diving with the arm extended like that, landed right on the hip and rib area. A real good view here. How he landed. Right away grabbing at that hip area. Torrey's played an outstanding right field. 15 outfield assists last year, 7 this year, 9-time Gold Glover in center field.
He's going to stay in there. More than likely see Trumbo in right field tomorrow, day game after night game.
You talk about a guy that plays the game the right way. Torrey Hunter has always played the game. Learned so much growing up in that Minnesota Twins organization, watching Kirby Puckett, Dave Winfield, Paul Molitor play the game of baseball, and he's translated over here with the Angels and allow the younger players to watch him play the game the proper way.
So Hosmer standing at third base, his second triple. And Chris Getz takes down low. Getz 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored to the second, and then grounded out his last time up.
It's 3 hitters in a row that Jerome has been behind 2-0.
This is a little looper out to shallow left center field. Trumbo's coming on. He'll make the run and catch. The inning comes to an end. A 2-out triple stranded at third as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City still leads it.
In his first 2 innings, Mike Trout 0 for 3 so far, has not scored a run. No, he has scored a run in 15 straight games. Is 3 away from the all-time mark of 18 straight games scoring a run.
Torrey to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Halos down by 3. Hunter, Pujols, and Trumbo facing Will Smith. Torrey fouls off the first one. It's 0-1. Torrey with a single and a walk. He's 1 for 1.
Well, the Angels with 2 banged up hitters in a row. Torrey Hunter after that dive, and of course Albert Pujols on deck after getting hit in the elbow.
Fouls the bunt back. No balls and 2 strikes.
Certainly was one of the benefits of being a designated hitter tonight for Pujols, getting some treatment. The wrap around that elbow now.
Torrey's the last guy to reach for the Halos. That was in the 3rd inning with 1 out via the walk. Bounces this one off his leg. And Torrey's going to have the day off tomorrow.
Torrey's got that smile. Told Rick Smith, I've given you too much airtime already being out there in the outfield. I'll shake this one off.
You don't think Rick Smith is saying anything sarcastic to Torrey, do you?
No, Rick Smith, no, he would never do that.
Never. That's not Rick's MO.
No.
The 1-2. Breaking pitch, and that is just foul. Torrey wanted to hurt somebody because that ball was right at Todd Tichenor. The third base umpire, he just didn't get out of the way of it.
Torrey wants to get a bad pitch over the middle of the plate and hit it out of the ballpark so he can take his time going around the bases. He's been beat up here last few pitches.
2-2. Well, if he does, he might as well go Jeffrey Leonard.
Yeah.
One flap down.
You got to.
Actually, considering the injuries, 2 flaps down. Take your time. 2-2. He punches this one right to Hosmer, 1 out. So 1 out, nobody on for Albert. Albert with a walk and a strikeout is 0 for 1. One and two.
Way after a changeup came with a slow breaking pitch. The Pujols chased that one in the dirt. Ned Yost has to feel pretty good about what Will Smith has done so far for the Royals. Giving them some innings, some quality innings.
Swing and a miss. Off speed pitch, 2 down. Strikeout number 4 for Smith.
The second time he has struck out Pujols with that pitch.
Trumbo pops this one up behind the plate. Perez on the warning track. The Angels go down in order. 6 in the books. 4-1 Kansas City. The amazing grilled cheese bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. And by Dodge. Top of the 7th, Halos down 4-1. Will Smith has been, dare I say, dominant, not overpowering, just making quality pitches when he is needed to. And Jerome Williams is back out for his second inning of work. Gave up a 2-out triple to Eric Hosmer, but then got Chris Getz to fly out to left to end the 6th inning. Smith at 93 pitches, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, just 2 hits allowed, and that was back in the first.
Yeah, we talked about when a young pitcher gets a pretty good sized lead early in the game, allows them to have the confidence to start throwing pitches on both sides of the plate, and he's retired his last 11 batters.
Top of the order for Kansas City, Gordon, Escobar, and Kane. Gordon's been on base 3 times with a double, a single, and a walk. He's picked up an RBI. Stolen a base and scored a run, and Jerome once again is behind at 2 balls and no strikes. Broken bat roller up the middle. Segura had him shaded that way. There's the first out. Goes 1 out. Escobar coming up. We'll take a look at our upcoming schedule. We mentioned the 12:35 start tomorrow afternoon against the Royals. Hochevar against Weaver. Then the Rays, after an off day, start a 3-game set here at home on Friday.
And then a tough road trip for the Angels. 4 in Texas, 3 in Chicago. Of course, ending with 3 in Oakland, who have been red hot, 15-2 in their last 17 games.
Ground ball to short. To Hopper to Segura. One shortstop retires another. 2 down.
You can see how strong that arm is, as Segura has. Stayed low with the throw. Strong arm, very athletic in that position. Still no definitive word on Eric Ibar, although he's been walking around and feeling much better today.
Two outs, bases clear for Lorenzo Cain. He'll look at a strike. Angels in the 7th have Kendrick Morales Callaspo due up against Smith. Cain lays off that pitch. He's homered, walked, and lined out. 1 for 2.
Back again with that cut fastball away.
Little looper out to right. That's going to fall in for base hit. So for the 2nd straight inning, a 2-out knock for the Royals. Keeps the inning alive, this time for Billy Butler.
Saw Cain do that last night in the game, going the other way after being behind in the count. Good approach for him. He's got some power, especially when he gets on the inner half, but when he's behind in the count, he's looking to serve a base hit in the right field.
Butler 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to short. Cain takes off. The pitch is a strike. The 3rd out from Hester. Not in time. A stolen base.
Boy, big jump. And Cain gets in there on that stolen base, his first stolen base of the season.
0-2 count. Butler breaks his bat. Callaspo has to deal with the baseball and the barrel flying at him. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A, and the Angels still down 4-1. Inning, 2 hits. That's all the Angels have managed tonight against the left-hander Will Smith, the former Angel farmhand. His longest outing in the big leagues, 6 1/3. He has gone 6 so far with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks.
And those 2 hits he allowed were both in the first inning. Has walked a couple since, but at this point, 11 straight batters he has retired.
Halos have not had a man reach second base since the first. Howie Kendrick to lead things off. He'll be followed by Kendrys Morales and then Alberto Callaspo. Looks like the Royals are starting to get some action in tandem with Smith's 7th inning.
Although it feels like the Royals have had command of this game, though the Angels, on the other hand, if they get a couple base hits, a couple base runners, and all of a sudden one swing and you've tied the game up. Jerome Williams has done a nice job. His couple innings out of the bullpen. The last 3 innings for Garrett Richards were solid too. So 5 straight shutout innings for Angel pitching to keep this game close.
That's 3 balls and no strikes. Halos needing some base runners. Louis Coleman is up now.
Well, if you're Howie, you have to be thinking in terms of 1, maybe 2 takes.
3-1. Upstairs, and he walked him. That's the first base runner for the Halos since the 3rd inning. Dave Island out to pay a visit, the pitching coach for Kansas City.
It's more of an issue to make sure he refocus here and also give Coleman some time down in the bullpen to get loose and be ready. One thing you see as a manager, Ned Yost is looking at as his youngster. Once you walk somebody late in the game, that's an indication that either your legs are starting to get tired and certainly your command is going away from you.
Well, he's not 98 pitches. That's the most pitches he has thrown in a big league game this year. 111 is the most at AAA. That was on July the 7th. He went 6 1/3 in his last start. He took the loss against Seattle. Here's Kendrys Morales, who saw 1 pitch in the 4th inning and ground out. Kendrys is 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch swinging, rolls one into a 6-4-3 double play. That's just a poor execution on the part of Kendrys Morales. 2 down. You got a guy who has just walked the leadoff man, the first base runner that you have had since the 3rd inning, and you go chasing the very first pitch for the 2nd consecutive at bat.
And what we talked about how successful Kendrys was in that pinch hit at bat last night, he saw a couple pitches to be able to track those baseballs coming in, and that's why he drove that off the wall. Sometimes you need that little bit of patience.
So 2 outs, the base is clear for Alberto Callaspo, who has walked and hit a bouncer back to the mound. Popped up. This should end the inning as Hosmer backs up on it. Just like that, the Angels' 7th comes to an end. 7 of the books, 4-1 Kansas City.
summary. Lorenzo King gets a slider on the inner half of the plate, drives it out for a 2-run home run in the first, but Mark Brumbo responds right back with a base hit into left field, cutting the lead to 2-1. But Alex Gordon, who continues to swing the bat well, drives in Eric Hosmer, the third run, and then the Royals score their fourth run on a fielder's choice.
4-1 Kansas City, top of the eighth. One ball, no strikes on Mike Moustakas. He'll be followed by Salvador Perez and then Jeff Francoeur. Jerome Williams working his third inning of relief.
Boy, nice changeup from Jerome there. When Jerome was throwing the ball very well, he would back up his sinker with a changeup away. It was very effective for him.
Good pitch as well.
Now you've opened up two sides of the plate with that cut fastball in. Now you can run that two-seam fastball, start at the hip of Moustakas and bring it on the inside corner, or you sink a fastball away.
There's the 1-2, up and in. Trying to do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count now.
Will Smith looked like he had that smile as if he was done. Very solid effort for him. His 2 hits allowed in 7 innings of work.
Pulls this one through the right side. It's a leadoff single. Third hit allowed by Jerome. Here comes the catcher Perez, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
Number 13, catcher Salvador Perez.
And Jerome's going to have to pay attention to Moustakas at first base. 3 stolen base in 5 attempts.
Perez drives one out toward left center field. Trout tracking this one down. What away. Moustakas head back to first.
Number 21, right fielder Jeff Francoeur.
Jeff Francoeur, the right fielder, will step in. 0 for 3, 3 ground ball outs. 0-1. Looks like Will Smith, the starter for Kansas City, done after 7. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 hits. 0-2. Greg Holland, who was on the mound last night, gave up that bases clearing single to Kendrys Morales. Back up in the 8th. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Holland's had a tough time against the Angels so far this year. ERA nearly at 20.
Called strike 3. Down goes Francoeur. 2 down.
And throwing one of those backup sliders that gets the inside corner. Hester setting up away. It still catches the inside part of the plate.
One ball, no strikes. Hosmer with a triple, a ground out, a walk, and a run scored. A good off-speed pitch, evens the count. Halos needing to do something with their last 6 outs. Otherwise, they will find themselves tied for second in the American League West with the Oakland Athletics, who defeated the Toronto Blue Jays earlier tonight at a score of 7-2. Texas having lost earlier tonight, giving the Angels an opportunity to pick up a game. Bouncer towards second. Howie is there. Inning comes to an end. A leadoff single, stranded at second. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and the Angels down 4-1. A 4-1, and Greg Holland, who took the loss last night for the Royals, has come on in relief for Ned Yost, taking over for Will Smith.
Just a very good plus fastball. He's around 93 to 98 miles an hour with his fastball. He's got a sharp slider, occasional curveball, and split finger fastball. Like I mentioned, ERA over 19.29 ERA against the Angels this year. Most time has been hurt when he's walked some batters.
They retired the first 2 in the 8th inning last night, and then the next 5 reached against him. But then the Angels were on top as Gene Segura takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Holland went 2/3 of an inning, gave him 4 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, and allowed 3 runs, all earned. Segura in his big league debut is 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts. Meister Sturis has come out to the on-deck circle. He'll be pinch hitting for John Hester. This one's a skimmer towards second base, and Gene Segura is on board. That's one of those with the speed of Segura. He had 33 stolen bases at Double-A this year. You get a second baseman who gets a ball not hit directly at him. All of a sudden starts to peek up just a little bit to see where the base runner is at.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get that quick transfer with Segura going down the line. Good approach from him. Hit the ball well that way. But Getz was in position to field that ball and get Segura down the line. But a mistake made. Maybe the break that the Angels have been looking for this game.
Chris Getz gets charged with an error, his 3rd of the year. Here's his Sturis pinch hitting. He looks at a fastball high. Meiser doubled against Holland in the 8th inning last night. That was down the right field line. And Sturis as a pinch hitter this year, 0 for 14 from the left side of the plate, 0 for 15 overall. Looks at a strike to even the count.
And one thing to keep in mind, too, when a player behind you doesn't make a play and you have a pitcher on the mound that doesn't have a lot of confidence working against a particular club, that could end up coming back to haunt this Royal team.
Stock is in on the grass at third. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. He went around, says the third base umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See if he went on the breaking ball. No question. Across the plate.
Hosmer playing behind Segura at first base. Ground ball toward the middle. Getch has it. Keeps Escobar for a double play. So Meister as a pinch hitter, now 0 for 16 this year. Rolls into a double play with 2 outs now. Bases clear for Trout.
Well, every time you think there's an opportunity to get in back in the game, now a comeback, the Angels have hit into a double play. The third double play they've hit into in this game.
But at least this one came with 2 strikes, unlike the one in the 7th inning at Kendricks after a leadoff walk. Went hacking at the first pitch. As the first one to Trout is up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Trout hitless tonight, 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a fly ball to right. Two-0 pitch. Looks at a strike, 2-1. Mike with a 12-game hitting streak. Jeopardy of having that snap as well as his runs scored streak. 15 consecutive games. Last time he did not score a run on July the 4th. A 2-1. Downstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You look back at that July 4th game, the Angels lost that game in Cleveland. That's how important he is to the offense.
Full count. Garrett Richards allowing 4 runs, all earned in 5 innings tonight. All 4 runs coming in the first 2 innings. Torrey Hunter on deck. Here's a 3-2, and he walked him. So Trout's on board. 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and Torrey stepping up.
Pretty tough combination to steal against here, though, for Trout. Especially down by 3 here late. The game here in the 8th inning. Holland throws the ball hard. Perez with a very good throwing arm is throwing out just about 29% of would-be base stealers.
0-1 on Torrey. 1 for 2 tonight. A single with a run scored in the first, a walk in the third, and a line out in the 6th. Pujols on deck. 4-1 Kansas City. Slice foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Trout with a 2-out walk, standing over at first. Nice block by Perez behind the plate.
Boy, quick to be able to read that baseball and get up, be in throwing position right away, just in case Trout decided to try to advance to second base.
Long pause for Holland. Here's the 1-2 as Trout takes off, and Torrey just got a piece of it. Fouls it back. So Trout has to head back over to first. Guessed right as far as the pitch is concerned.
Better opportunity to be able to advance just in case Torrey did not swing at that pitch.
Torrey shoots it foul down the line. Trout was not going on that last pitch. Seventeen pitches thrown by Holland here in the 8th. Segura got on board via the error by Chris Getson, and Contreras, the pinch hitter, rolled into a double play before Trout worked a walk.
Torrey gets on base somehow. Pujols represents the tying run.
Now the 1-2 again, and that is up high. Throw down to first, and Trout able to get back in there. Perez looked like he slipped a little bit as he tried to plant to throw to first base. Two balls, two strikes. Kansas City with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. The Angels with 1 in the first, and that has been all the scoring.
Holland has allowed 1 stolen base and 2 attempts. Pretty quick to the plate. Then you add in the fact that he's just throwing 96 miles an hour with the fastball, makes it more difficult to get a good read and be able to steal a base against him.
Full count. Trout's going to be off with a pitch here. Pujols on deck. The outfield somewhat shallow for Kansas City all the way around. Kane and Francoeur in center and right respectively, playing Torrey the opposite way. So big alley in left center field. Gordon is always straight up and shallow in left. Hosmer playing behind Trout at first, and Mike get a nice running start to 3-2, and that is at least foul down the right field line.
Next pitch, Torrey will see, will be the 9th pitch. There's it back.
And this is popped up. Gets the second baseman, drifts out. The inning comes to an end. 8 complete here at the Big A. Kansas City still leading this one. crazy you can taste. And by Southern California Toyota. Check out the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. Top of the ninth, Kansas City still on top by the score of 4-1. Jerome Williams is back out for another inning of action. 3 innings so far, 1 strikeout, 3 hits allowed. And here in the ninth, he'll be facing 9-1-2 for the Royals. Getz, Gordon, and Escobar, barring a pinch hitter. Bobby Wilson is doing the catching now as Meister Sturz pinch hit for John Hester in the 8th. Meister Sturz stays in the game, and he is playing second base. It's Howie Kendrick in left field. This one's hit towards short. Segura has to get rid of it quickly. Yeah, no doubt about it. So Torrey Hunter no longer in the game, but Howie Kendrick playing left field. Trumbo moves from left over to right. So those are the changes for the Angels here in the ninth with 1 out.
You talk about a strong throwing arm. Segura with a power arm because Getz gets down the line very quickly.
Gordon takes down low. Take a look at our Hyundai key to the game for today.
Boy, Will Smith did just this. Went out and made some quality pitches.
Gordon hits one deep to right field. Trumbo pulls up. That's off the wall. Gordon's on his way to second. Strong throw from Trumbo. It's not in time. It's a double for Alex Gordon.
With 2 doubles, a single, and a walk for Gordon tonight. About the key of the game. Won't get fooled again with 3 left-handers in a row against Mike Scioscia's lineup. Or maybe make those adjustments after Bruce Chen was able to pitch inside effectively enough to be able to get the hitters out away. But Will Smith did an outstanding job as far as staying away from the middle part of the plate the entire night.
Al City's Escobar looks at a strike. He's 0 for 4 today. Picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice in second. One ball, 1 strike. Breaking pitch down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Broxton and Crow. Crow's on the left, Broxton on the right. The run scores, Crow's in. Run doesn't score, Broxton's in. Check swing. Looked like he went around. He did. Down goes Escobar, 2 down. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning for the Angels, it'll be Pujols, Trumbo, and Kendrick coming up. And Jerome still trying to finish off this ninth inning, keeping Gordon in scoring position. He'll have to get through Lorenzo Cain, who's had 2 for 3 tonight. 2 for 3 night. One of which was a 2 RBI home run in the first. Breaks his bat, bounces it foul. It's no balls and a strike.
They ran that good two-seam fastball in on the hands of Lorenzo Cain.
Oh, 1 pitch. Tied him up. Tried to break his bat again.
Right back in with that 92. Last time up came, he was behind the count, looked for something away and served it in the right field for a base hit.
This one's fouled back. Lays off the breaking ball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Will Smith for Kansas City, 7 innings tonight, 1 run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. That's all the Angels have managed tonight. Kansas City with 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on. The Angels with 1 run, 2 hits, both coming in the first, and 4 men left on base. One thing is for certain, Lorenzo Cain likes to turn on the pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to try to do damage on the inner half.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Cain. The double is stranded in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Angels trying to figure things out against Jonathan Broxton, down 4-1.
Afternoon game, Luke Hochaver, who beat the Angels back in April against Jerry Weaver. 12-1 mark for Weave. ERA 2.20. Opponent's only hitting .204 against Jerry Weaver, who's come back with a vengeance since coming back from that DL. The back issues, he's throwing the ball exceptionally well.
On the bottom of the 9th, the Halos down by 3. A save opportunity for the Royals, and that's why the big man is on in relief. Jonathan Broxton pitching in his 35th game. He is 22 of 26 in save opportunities this year.
Power fastball. 92 to 98 range. We'll sink a fastball now also. Very good slider. Occasional curveball.
Albert Pujols to lead things off here against Broxton. The first one is down low. Albert tonight, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. He's 0 for 2. You see the career numbers against Broxton.
It was 2 for 15.
One ball, one strike. Broxton's name has been thrown about as far as trade rumors are concerned. Signing a one-year deal with Kansas City.
He's proved to be healthy again.
Two balls and one strike. So that ERA ballooned up to 5.68. A lot of it having to do with injury last year. Two one. 3 balls and a strike. Trumbo's on deck, then Howie Kendrick.
Broxton with a career ERA at 2.60 against the Angels with 2 saves. Pretty surprising pitch there, 2-1 slider. You're up by 3. Worst case scenario, Pujols hits it out, and you're still up by 2.
Chopper off the plate towards short. Escobar has it. 1 out. That'll bring up Mark Trumbo. The Angels in this game have had 2 guys reach second base. That was in the first inning. Torrey Hunter did it. He eventually scored on the single by Mark Trumbo, and Pujols drew a walk and then went to second on that single by Trumbo in the first inning. Three double plays turned by Kansas City. And Trumbo steps in 1 for 3 of that RBI single in the first. 67 runs batted in now. Looks at the strike. Oh, 2 count.
Broxton still with that good fastball. That one at 98 miles an hour. Trumbo late on that pitch. Where there has to be some interest, some clubs needing a closer. Broxton a lot of experience in that role. Looks to be healthy again.
Oh, 2 pitch. This one out toward right center field. Gets going out, and he can't make the play. It falls in there. Trumbo picks up the hit, his second of the night, and a third for the Angels.
Well, Getz tried to get back for that baseball. Held high fastball that Trumbo just got enough bat on to be able to flare that into the outfield for his second hit of the game.
There's the first one to Howard. Fastball right down the pipe for a strike. Howie with a double play ball, a fly ball to center, and a walk. He's 0 for 2. Two down.
Well, that's a hard slider at 90 miles an hour from Broxton. Not too often you see a pitcher come in and be able to throw a 90-mile-an-hour slider. Usually it's around 85 to 87 range. That's a hard slider, but that one at 90.
So the Angels down to the last out. First one's down low to Morales. Kendricks is 0 for 3 tonight. Hochamer and Weaver tomorrow afternoon at 12:35. Trumbo takes off. Kendricks breaks his back. Rolls one out to Getz, who fires to first, and Morales is on board. And we'll put this in quotation marks with an infield single. Only because Getz was out in shallow right center.
Well, he was almost playing like he was a center fielder, fielding that ground ball. Playing in the hole, but field this ball in the outfield grass, well in the outfield grass. A long throw, and Morales beats it out, bringing up the tying, potentially tying run here.
Alberto Callaspo with one swing of the bat.
We've seen him turn on some good fastballs, batting from this side of the plate on the inner half. In Seattle against King Felix.
Alberto 0 for 2. He drew a walk into second. He's got Trumbo standing at second base. Morales at first. Strike on the outside corner. Looks like Broxton took just a little bit off, or he threw a two-seamer there.
And he's going to force Callaspo to hit the ball to the big part of the ballpark. Going to stay away.
Callaspo bounces this one to Hosmer. This should do it. The Royals take game 2 by the final of 4-1.
Well, I think what it came down to is that early lead for the Royals, scoring 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Then Will Smith has allowed 2 hits in 7 solid innings. Hosmer had a solid game. Gordon, 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. Lorenzo Cain, 2-run home run in the first. Enough offense for the Royals as they win the game 4-1 against the Angels.
Will Smith picks up his second major league victory. Garrett Richards takes the loss. He is now 3-2, and Broxton picks up his 23rd save. Royals win it by the final 4-1. Stick around. Chris McGee and Jose Mota will be with you right after the break with Angels Live post-game edition.